When I got told I was going to Greenland, it was very exciting because it's not something that happens to you every day. It's not the kind of place that you kind of plan to go on holiday. So that was an interesting concept for me. Nothing can prepare you for that journey to Greenland. First, you have to go to a kind of military base in the middle of nowhere, which has Arctic Command written on the top of the buildings and stuff. It's a crazy place. And you get off the big plane to get on a smaller plane to take the last part of the journey to Nuuk. That journey is like nothing you've ever experienced. You're flying over mountain ranges, ice sheets that are falling away into glaciers, beautiful fjords with this beautiful blue colours everywhere. And some of these glaciers, the scale of them is like nothing you've ever seen in your life. It's incredible. As you fly over Nuuk, you can look down and you can see how hard it is to live in Greenland. I mean, you've got to be tough to live in Greenland, that's for sure. Then you land in Nuuk. Once I got off the plane, the people were just incredible. They were so lovely and so welcoming. And it's such a beautiful place. I think everybody should visit Nuuk at least once in their lifetime.
KNR is the national television station of Greenland. We serve 56,000 people. We have a transmission area of 2,166,000 square kilometers. So it's quite radically different from other countries. We produce more than 800 hours and 6,000 hours of radio every year. Our situation equipment-wise was critical. All equipment was end of life and we have to do something radically fast to move to another solution.
One of the challenges in Greenland is that it's geographically very widespread and you have to come out on a lot of different channels at the same time.
We needed everything from news system to production system, MAM, archiving, everything had to be redone.
KNR was still broadcasting in standard definition and having a lot of challenges with transforming themselves into a modern media house.
The money we have available to do this was quite limited, so we have to make some wise decisions that way.
There'd been quite a proliferation of the mobile networks across up the coast into the remote communities in the north that were very hard to reach normally. But now they all had mobile devices or PCs or laptops that were connected to this mobile network. That gave them the opportunity at KNR to put their content into those devices.
Technology was very much controlling how we worked and how we had to work. And it was clear that if we like to do more content and if we like to be more efficient and make more content, we will have to change our workflows radically.
So they don't have different groups of journalists, one for radio, one for TV, and one for web and social media. They basically centralized that with nxtedition as a tool in the center.
We quite fast learned that their approach was radically different from what we were used to. Here we met seasoned broadcast production people and developers who have made a system that was more concentrated on content with a goal to make life easier for everybody.
And the cool part about it is that we remove the engineering. There's very little engineering in nxtedition.
The learning curve was radically easier. All 60 staff got 12 hours of training.
Once all the training was finished, we were told we were going to go on air the very next day, 100% nxtedition. And that's quite a thing.
So we was on air 24 hours after we moved to nxtedition.
It's intuitive, it's very, very easy to learn, and it gives you the power to be more story-centric.
It looks like KNR are going the web-first way, meaning that they will basically primarily produce web content daily, and then with that put together their newscast in the evening for the viewers that still requires to look at the newscast.
They could create content specifically for smaller communities and post it to the social media channels directly. They couldn't do that before.
Right now, the combination of a script writing tool an event system with automation control for live production galleries. The ability to publish and research social media is by far the most modern there is in the world, in my opinion.
Hardware itself does not create the content, the people create the content. And part of what the nxtedition ethos is to free people from this conceptual channel in a box thing and to say, no, go and make a story.
It has been an emotional journey. The philosophies that we have were accepted by the KNR crew, and where we could get an understanding of how their reality was, and we could learn a lot from them, and we could implement the way that they were thinking into our software.
Together with nxtedition Boffins, we sat down and made it even easier with a whole workflow through the whole process.